Hey guys, and welcome. A lot of my friends will tell you that I'm kind of a frugal cheapskate. And I'm going to have to agree with them most of the time. I kind of am. I consider myself a minimalist. I don't like to have a lot of extra junk, a lot of extra stuff. I know in these reloading videos you could probably question that, but it's true. In my life, I don't like clutter. I don't like a lot of unnecessary items. That's kind of, back to the Lee, that's kind of what happened with the Lee. It wasn't being used, and I knew somebody could use it and it would find a good home. Not that there was anything wrong with the equipment, it's just, I knew the Redding and the Dillon was a better option for me. So because I'm that way, I try to buy the best components or the best things that I can buy for the money. I don't necessarily need a lot of features, but I want something that's high quality that's going to last. Okay, so there, once again, that's why I chose the Redding, and that's why I chose to go with the Dillon. But in my frugalness, I got a bunch of friends, and I've got this one really good friend, and we were talking yesterday or the day before, and he was like, I understand you and why you're cheap and blah, blah, blah. He said, but in my life, I buy things that make my life easier. If it can make my life easier, I'll find some way to spend the money so that way it's easier for me. And I agree with that philosophy too. So it's kind of kind of puts me in a catch-22 equation. So on the Dillon itself, a lot of people were laughing because I never got a case feeder, blah blah blah, and I didn't care. The Dillon was working out great for me without the case feeder. It was doing what I needed to do, and it was working. That, and with the money that I was saving by not getting the case feeder, I was able to buy more components or another firearm here or there, or just go out and have fun in life, So, spend your money where you enjoy it. However, my buddy, the one that kept telling me over and over and over, basically, I buy stuff that makes my life easier. And like I said, I couldn't really go wrong with that. That's so I went ahead and purchased the Dillon case feeder. It is a great addition to the Dillon 650. It's making it work out really well, making it a whole lot faster. Another thing I purchased was a Mr. Bullet mini bullet feeder. And I also bought 3 extra of these tubes. Okay, so let me get the manual on it to make sure. It's called the Mini Mr. Bullet Feeder by Double Alpha. All right, so I looked at the different bullet feeders because I told myself if I were going to buy a case feeder, I might as well get the bullet feeder to go along with it. The problem with the bullet feeders is kind of my reasoning for not getting the case feeder at first is I didn't understand how easy or how simple it was to swap out, the shell plate in there so I could change to different calibers if I wanted to. Even though we all know the Dillon doesn't change and it's just for 9mm. So I went with the mini Mr. Bullet Feeder because I knew it was a simple system. I like simple systems. For me, simple systems always work best. Case in point, sometimes the Dillon gives me a little hassle on certain items, but the Redding never does, because it's just a simple system. And simple systems work. Okay, so that's another reason why I went with the mini Mr. Bullet Feeder is because it's a simple system. It's simple to use, simple to set up, and it works. So, and it's also where I can change, I can just change these heads out and go to different other bullets, if you will, or other sizes of bullets. I also purchased 4 extra tubes for the Dillon, and the reason why is because I've got this kind of set up. Most of my matches are 400 bullets or less. Even with nationals, it's a 360 round match, give or take. But if you can keep 400 rounds of ammo loaded quickly, it'll do you with any USPSA match or any Steel Challenge match or any just going to the range and practicing. 400 rounds is a pretty good practice day. So that's the way I kind of set this up, was 400 rounds. So I've got 4 of these tubes, each hold approximately 100 bullets. I got 4 primer tubes. Actually, I got 5, but I use 4. 4 of the primer tubes, and each hold about 100 primers. So that's another 400. And because of who I am and the way I do things in my personal life, I know that there are 100 bullets per cup 109 millimeter cases per cup. So this is a 4-cup container, so it should hold approximately 400 cases. So I got 400 primers, 400 bullets, and 400 cases all ready to go, where we can just throw them into the Dillon and we can spit them out. So I'm going to show you, probably in time lapse, because you don't want to sit here and watch the whole thing, but I'm going to show you how fast basically it is to reload 400 rounds. I'll come back and I'll have the timer set where you all can see exactly how long it takes for me now to load 400 rounds. Everything's set up for the first round, so we're going to go ahead and start making. Okay, we're done now. Okay, here's the ammo we made. Here's one little bucket of it, one little bowl, and here's the rest of it. That was right at 400 rounds. There's still a couple of bullets in the tube there. It's not exact, and I'm out of primers, so I know that was 400 primers. Actually, I think I had about 420 in there because I ran a couple just to make sure everything was set up for the video. I'm just about out of cases, so I know that it was 400 rounds. It took 30 minutes, almost on the nose. I mean, it was almost exactly 30 minutes. Even with the minor hiccups, if you kind of watch and pay attention through the video, that you'll see that there were some minor hiccups with the machine. A couple of times the shell wouldn't go all the way into the resizing die, so I had to manually push it in there. And when I would do that, it would catch one of these pins. One time, and that's why we have this other bowl over here, I noticed that one case did not have powder, and it's probably because I did something wrong. I probably short-stoked it, so I went ahead and separated those out. I like doing that. I like dumping about every 50, or every 100 into a bowl. And what I mean by that is I take this pan and I dump it in here about every 50 or 100. That way, if I do have a problem, or I foresee that there could be a problem, I can just go ahead and separate those few rounds out. Now, I will go ahead and shoot them here at my home range, but I won't take them to a match. I'll go ahead and use these at a match. I'm 100% confident there's nothing wrong with any of those. I know I caught the one that I short-stroked, but just for safety and security reasons, that's how I do it. Other than that, it ran great. As you all can see, I mean, there was a couple minor things, or a case got stuck here or there, or tipped over, if you will. Things like that, but overall, ran great. 30 minutes, 400 rounds. I can live with those results. All right, guys, go check it out. The Mr. Bullet Mini Bullet Feeder if you own a Dillon. It's a good product. I know with a little bit more experience, I'll have the technique down and I'll have it tweaked where I can make sure it runs better. But all right, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you.